Hi everyone, it's Kamal here from Wings Over TO. About a week ago I put out a video about a near miss I had at a fly-in back in August, and it quickly became the most viewed video I've had by far, like not even close. And I've been really humbled and surprised at the attention it's gotten and at the thoughtful feedback and comments that I've received. I've heard from other pilots who were at the event and actually saw the incident occur. I've heard from other pilots who've had similar things happen to them over the years. And I've even heard from a couple of the pilots who actually knew that other pilot in the incident. Based on the reactions, this incident seems to have touched a nerve with a lot of you, and I'm actually glad that it's generated the discussion that it has. I know for me as a new pilot, I found the discussion in the comments really helpful, and if it helps even one person out there, then I think it was worth putting it out there. And based on the comments that I've gotten, I think there's a lot of you out there that found it useful, even just as a reminder of what can go wrong and what to keep an eye out for. Almost all of the comments I've gotten have talked about how the other pilot was at fault. Now, while I'm glad that I wasn't out to lunch in my assessment, I don't want to lose sight of the fact that both of us made mistakes out there. So I thought I'd put out this just short video to reiterate that fact, to reiterate the lessons for myself, and to tell you all about one additional mistake I made that I didn't mention in the video. As some of you pointed out in your comments, and as I mentioned in the video, my pattern was too wide and too long. What I didn't mention though was that as I was crossing midfield to join the mid-left downwind, I was actually 500 feet higher than I should have been. One eagle-eyed viewer who dug into my video noticed this and he reached out to me in private to point it out, and I'm glad he did. I didn't mention it at the time in the video because I didn't think it was relevant to the near miss, but in retrospect, the more I thought about it, the more I chatted with him, I came to realize that being high was probably why I was wide and long in my pattern, and that was definitely a contributing factor to the near miss. There's really no excuse for me being 500 feet too high. It was just a dumb mistake on my part. I wanted to point this out here in the interest of full transparency and fairness, and it's just as a reminder that this was not a one-sided incident. There were things I did that contributed to it. And it's a good reminder to me as well that when I'm flying the pattern, I gotta be really careful about it. And that means not just width and length, but also the height that I'm joining the pattern at. One suggestion that came up pretty frequently in the comments was the idea that maybe we were on different frequencies when we were making our calls. I know that happens more often than it should, but that wasn't the case here. And I know because when he passed me, I keyed the mic and I said something like, "Who the hell just passed me on short final?" And he replied with a quick, "Oh, sorry about that," or something to that effect. And in fact, there were a couple of people on the ground who reached out to me who had heard that exchange from both sides. So that may be an incident more often, but in this case, that was not the issue. I do want to say, though, that my intent in making this video was not to lay blame or have people pile on to the other pilot for what he may have done wrong, because I definitely made some mistakes too. I was really looking to learn about what I might have done wrong and take away lessons from it, and that I definitely did. The 3 lessons I took away, just to reiterate: 1, keep my head on a swivel, always be looking for other aircrafts. 2, make sure I'm flying an appropriate, expected, and tight pattern. And 3, pay extra close attention to radio calls from other pilots around the pattern, especially at untowered fields. If I can just remember and internalize these lessons, then I think it'll make me a better pilot, and that's really what this is all about. That's it for now. The next video I'm working on is one I'm kind of struggling with for personal reasons, and I think when you see it, you'll understand why. But it should be out in a couple of weeks, and I hope you'll come back and watch it. I'll see you then, and until then, fly safe.